Welcome to Pocono Showcase. This is a program dedicated to spotlighting the talents of the Poconos' rich musical community and its unique history. I'm Gary C., your host. Our guests on this very first episode are a team that have been performing both solo and as a duo for decades. They met in New York City back in the 70s, but they've been calling the Poconos their home for quite some time. Please welcome the wonderful Nancy and Spencer Reed.
1, 2, 3. Listen to them play that song, how it shocks my poor brain with that electric refrain. I get a buzzing just like a dozen doorbells. Every time they play that song, I get weak in the knees, my poor heart shoots up a breeze, sending a string to every extremity. Parts of my anatomy are uncontrolled, you see. The music's magic spell leaves me a mass of quivering jelly. Even on a violin, how the sweet dulcet tones pull marrow out of my bones. I must confess, it leaves me a mess, our song. Listen to them play that song, how it shocks my poor brain with that electric refrain. I get a buzzing just like a dozen doorbells. Every time they play that song, I get weak in the knees, my poor heart shoots up a breeze, sending a stream to every extremity. Parts of my anatomy are uncontrolled, you see. The music's magic spell leaves me a mass of quivering jelly. Even on a violin, how those sweet dulcet tones pull marrow out of my bones. I must confess, it leaves me a mess, our song does. I'd like to hear that song, 'cause it thrills me so, our song.
That's Nancy and Spencer Reed. We'll be back and chat with them on the Pocono Showcase next.
So we're at one of the most beautiful hotels in the Pocono Mountains.
In the middle of the week. We know you're looking for great value and less crowds.
So try booking your stay during the week.
We've got the mountains, sun, the active stuff, and we love families too. So what are you waiting for?
Because we're waiting for you. Please visit us at PoconoMountains.com.
Welcome back to the Pocono Showcase with Nancy and Spencer Reed.
1, 2, 3. Lee-ba-doo-dee, la-ba-doo-ba-yo-yo, yee-ba-doo-dee, la-ba-yo-da-doo-yo, lee-ba-doo-dee, la-bo-da, la-bo-da, la-ba-doo-dee, la-ba-doo-da-da-yo, la-da-doo-dee, la-ba-doo-da-da-yo, la-ba-doo-dee, la-bo-da, la-bo-da.
Your love is rain, my heart the flower. I need your drink or I will die. My very soul is in your power, and will will I wither and die or blossom to the sky? Agua de bebe, give the flower water to drink. Agua de bebe, give the flower water to drink. I will never see another springtime, and I will never feel the summer sun without your love to share that springtime. And like the rain and the flower, our hearts will be as one. Agua de bebe, give the flower water to drink. Agua de bebe, give the flower water to drink. Say-ga-do-be, do-da-da-da-da-da-da-do-be, do-da-da-da-da-da-da-do-be, za-ga-da-da-da-da, za-ga-do-be, do-ba-da-da-da-da-da-do-be, do-da-da-da-da-da-da-do-be, za-ga-da-da-da. Agua de bebe, give the flower water to drink. Agua de bebe, give the flower water to drink. Say-ga-do-be, do-da-do-da-da-da-da-do-be, do-da-do-da-da-da-da-do-be, za-ga-da-da-da-da.
Nancy, what's the name of that one?
Agua de beber, water to drink. Brazilian tune.
How did you two meet?
Well, we lived in the Bronx, and a friend of ours threw a party that turned out to be a jam session, and they really threw it so that we musicians could meet.
Uh-huh.
And then we found out we both lived on the same block.
Tell me about some of the great Pocono venues that you've both played in.
Well, I moved here to work at Tamiment and to have a full-time job. There were 2 full-time drummers. My first job here was as a drummer. I played as a guitar player in New York, but we moved here through the Musicians Union down at Roseland Ballroom.
Mm-hmm.
And we lived at Tamiment for a while. After a few months, I decided I had enough wherewithal to get married, and Nancy moved up here. We saw the Pocono circuit was happening with the Honeymooners, and places like all the Caesars resorts, Pocono Palace and Paradise Stream. And we played those places for a while, mostly through the exposure through the Tannersville Inn with the great Steve Jacobowitz, who gave us so many gigs. And then you were saying the other places we
worked
played.
at Shawnee, let's see, Fernwood, Polkmont, all those resorts.
They had full-time bands, so sometimes there were years we didn't work together.
Mount Airy.
You played together and you played solo as well, right?
Yeah, there were.
That's right. Separate bands.
And Nancy, I know you led the first house band at the Hillside Inn, and now you play a lot at the Deerhead Inn, don't you?
Yep, Deerhead is our favorite place now. We should say we started off at the bottom of the Fox, and the great Ed Jobert, who was the owner at the time, encouraged us to play jazz. And we used to dream about playing up the street at the Deerhead, and now the Deerhead's our favorite place.
Uh-huh. And you play there regularly, don't you? And
We're sort of
We're on the
a
rotation.
It's
Yeah.
nice. And we also get to work with different people. Sometimes Nancy uses a piano group. That's a lot of fun with Skip Wilkins and
Dan Wilkins,
great
Tony
musicians.
Marino.
And then sometimes I do a more blues-based thing where I'm singing myself. And
This is Nancy and Spencer Reed in the Pocono Showcase. We're back with more in just a bit.
The best stories come from people you know.
Hi, Jen and Brianna.
Hello there.
And at the Pocono Television Network, we know the Pocono Mountains.
Saw you at the festival. Great job.
Thanks.
And PTN spends each and every day updating you on everything happening across the region.
Hey, I shared your post.
Thanks very much.
So watch us on cable, streaming, and online.
We love watching PTN.
Us too.
Go to PoconoTelevision.com. PTN is everywhere you are.
We're back with the Pocono Showcase and Nancy and Spencer Reed. Spencer, can you tell me about some of the Pocono musicians you've worked with?
Oh, certainly. The first great musician here, there are so many, was Phil Woods, who reached out to us and used to sit in with us at the Celebration of the Arts Festival and eventually invited me to join the festival orchestra, which became the Water Gap Jazz Orchestra, now under the direction of Matt Vashlishin, which still plays just about every month at the Deer Head Inn.
Cool.
And sometimes Nancy sings with the band. And Phil was just so great to us, invited us on many projects. We played and sang one of his tunes on the Reasons for Christmas album, which supports the PATH project here in the Poconos. Really wonderful recording of Phil Wood's tune, Gifts for the Children, beautiful tune. And next, Bob Dorough, who of course is famous, most famous for writing many of the Schoolhouse Rock tunes. And Nancy worked with him a lot as one of the Bobettes, singing backup with him.
I know,
first on an
the
album called
Bobettes.
This Is Recording. This is a recording, and tell him a little about
And
Bob,
I'm
maybe.
on his latest CD called Earth, and that's a DVD actually. We did that a few years ago, and the late Bob Dorough, local hero, we loved him.
Yep. On Schoolhouse Rock Earth, we also got to speak and be
I was a
bears in
bear.
the cartoon.
That's right.
What about Fred Waring?
I got to meet Fred Waring because I am a recipient of the Fred Waring Award
Yes, he
for
is.
contributions to the community, arts in the community, which was really a thrill to get in his name. But I only got to meet Fred for a moment. But we thank him all the time for helping start the Jazz Festival in Delaware Water Gap, our annual great event here in the Poconos.
The wonderful Dave Liebman, who asked me to do an album with him, and I was thrilled that he asked to do that. And that was a few years, well, actually,
Dave
almost
Liebman,
10
who's still
years
very,
ago.
very active, featured Nancy on a recording called
Saxophonist.
Neighbors. And in the liner notes, it says that's the reason for the recording, to get Nancy out front. And Dave Liebman is just a wonderful person.
And a wonderful musician, of course.
All right, here's a Bob Dorough song with Nancy and Spencer Reed.
1, 2, 3, 4.
No cares for me, I'm happy as I can be. I learned to love and to live, devil may care. No blues or woes, whatever comes, later goes. That's how I take and I give, devil may care. When the day is through, I suffer no regrets.
I suffer no regrets.
I know that he who frets loses the night, but only fool dreams he can hold back the dawns. He who is wise never tries to revise what's past and gone, 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 gone.
Live love today. Let come tomorrow. What may.
Don't even stop for a sigh. It doesn't help if you cry. That's why I'll live and I'll die. Devil may care.
No cares for me, I'm happy as I can be. I've learned to love and to live. Devil may care. No blues or woes, whatever comes later goes. That's how I take and I give. Devil may care. When the day is through, I suffer no regrets. I know that he who frets loses the night. Only fool dreams he can hold back the dawn. He who is wise never tries to revise what's past and gone. Gone, 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 gone. Live love today. Let come tomorrow what may. Don't even stop for a sigh. It doesn't help if you cry. That's why I'll live and I'll die. Devil may care. No blues or devil may care. No blues or woes. Ooh, devil may care. Yeah.
Nancy and Spencer Reed in the Pocono Showcase. Where can folks see and hear more of your music?
Our favorite place to play is still the Deer Head Inn, but there are lots of places cropping up around town, like the Charcuterie on Main Street.
I do a solo there.
The Goat used to be Kay's Tavern. Very, very nice.
Sycamore Grill. That used to be the Bottom of the Fox. Now it's Sycamore Grill.
That's right. And the Willow Tree Inn.
Willow Tree.
What about recorded music from you guys?
We have many, many albums. We have 9 albums that we recorded together, plus Nancy has an album with Dave Liebman, 2 with the Duke Ellington Legacy Group, several
and
with David
3 with Dave Lenhart.
And a few with your own trio, a couple
That's
with
right.
your own trio. And we have new stuff coming out, partially old stuff redone that we never finished over the years, tunes that drop here and there. So we have a wonderful producer, Richard Dunning, who's son of the Poconos, was born. His father was Roger Dunning, a principal of a few schools around here. And Richard now comes back to the Poconos to help us with our recording projects. So
he
look
was
out
there
for
at that first hotel at Tamament when Spencer went there.
He was the sound guy at
45
Tamament.
years ago.
Sorry. And he said, yes, someday we'll do a record. And this is his 3rd production for us. So we're grateful to Richard Dunning.
Thank you, Richard.
Thank you, Spencer. Thank you, Nancy. This has just been wonderful. The premiere episode of the Pocono Showcase. Thanks for watching. What are you going to leave us with?
A Duke Ellington composition, Cottontail.
Called Cottontail, yes.
That tells a story.
Way back in my childhood, I heard a story so true about a funny bunny stealing some food from a garden he knew. His mama got worried. She told the bunny one day, better watch the farmer, heed what I say, or we'll blow you away. He knew his mama was right, so why don't he do what she say? Maybe he just don't dig it, maybe it's habit, cause he's a rabbit. I heard the old story. One rabbit's full of wing luck, but you're much more luckier natch if the rabbit's attached. Out of the garden, a coincidence. I found a hole in the fence, and every morning when things are still, then I crawl through the hole and eat my fill. The other rabbits say I'm taking dares, maybe it's wrong, but who cares? I'm a hooked rabbit. carrot habit. And every day I'm trying to avoid it. And when I do, I know that I've enjoyed it. Really and true, big amount of fun all the time. I'm heading for the garden. Everything is free in the farmer's garden. Every little carrot is a stone delight. And I keep forgetting that it ain't right. One day as I was deep in a meal, that farmer pulled a real sneaky deal. Came at me with a big shotgun. Did I run, oh, so really swiftly as I could. I split from there, not a second to spare. I could hear bullets flying through the air. Hear the words Mama told me. If Mama knew, she would scold me. Got a real sick feeling. Gotta really stop my stealing. The farmer, he really had sense. He plugged up the hole within the fence. Had me running madly around the garden looking for a hole to crawl in. Hey, you pick up what I say, you hard-headed rabbit. Gotta keep your habit. Your mama told you when you hop, when you stop to cop the crop. He gets salty and guns for you because carrots and you make a very good stew. So he's got you on the run. Better find a quiet little corner where the farmer never comes. Got plenty patches and snuggle between them. Dig what I mean? You gotta tell, you gotta keep the beat. Run, you rabbit, run. Now you had your fun. Run before you feel the shotgun. Run on, run. Well now, while you're in a panic, don't forget about the garden gate. All you gotta do is lay around and wait. Right now the farmer thinks he got you, really is itching to seal your fate. Don't you meet him by the hole in the fence? You could beat him with some natural sense. While he's over by the fence around the way, keep on running till you're out of that gate. Now the farmer really scared you to death. You never figured he was out gunning. Better pause a while to catch your breath. You gotta beat him if you outrun him, maybe. Now you remember what your ma told you. Now you get a beating if your pa scolds you. So hit the gate and then be ready to wail. When you do, be sure the man your tail. Hurry up, better change your plan. Better run from the farmer man. Oh, you best make tracks. You doggone pesky hare. Head for home now. Got to wail to show your tail. We gotta head for home, gotta head for home. Now you know your sister's Muffy and Fluffy, and your little brother's Mopsy and Flopsy. Now you're gonna do what Mommy intended. Now you know your carrot stealing is ended. I heard the old story. One rabbit's full to bring luck, but you're much more lucky or natch if the rabbit's attached. And there you go.
You're watching PTN, the Pocono Television Network.
From the Inn at Jim Thorpe. Where are we going today, Chris?
Well, I want to take you to your favorite place.
Jim Thorpe?
That's right, but I also want to take all of you along with us for a great day in Jim Thorpe.
Wow, this is beautiful. We're at the Inn at Jim Thorpe on Broadway, and this gives the best view of this classic slice of Americana.
It's just so gorgeous, you just want to stand here all day and drink it in, right?
I know, me too. So, Chris, you're the historian, so let's give everyone a quick history of Jim Thorpe.
Well, Jim Thorpe was originally titled Mock Chunk, but in 1954, the town decided to honor Jim Thorpe, who is considered the greatest athlete of the 20th century. They named the town after him.
So over the past 20 years, this town has been enjoying a renaissance. There's so much to do here. So Chris, I have an idea.
Well, what?
Why don't we divide and conquer and we'll meet up at the end of the day?
Great idea.
All right, see you later.
Okay.
I love shopping for things that I can't get in a mall. And Jim Thorpe has just that. Boutiques like this one, Trend and Source. This store sells unique items from local artists and fair trade organizations. Everything from home goods to stylish jewelry and pottery. You won't walk out of here empty-handed.
This is the world's biggest train set, and it's run by the Reading, Blue Mountain, and Northern, and we're going to take a look at it. This train takes you on a scenic 70-minute round-trip tour of the Lehigh River and the beautiful countryside. Plus, you can bring your own bike or rent one in Jim Thorpe and get off at the end of the trail and ride back to town on an easy slope trail. It's great fun for the whole family, and a new route has been added, so check it out.
Jim Thorpe is rich in historic buildings that are now transformed into trendy businesses like this one, the Marion Hose Bar. This historic firehouse has been renovated into a bar that serves one-of-a-kind drinks and classic fare.
Jim Thorpe is so rich in history, so much so that an 1870s period film was shot right here, the Molly Maguires. We're in the old jail. Built in 1871, it became infamous, relating to the social issues during that time. A group of coal miners called the Molly Maguires revolted against the coal companies. They were arrested and tried for their violent confrontations. 4 of the group were hanged here at this jail. But one of the most intriguing artifacts cannot be easily explained, and it's right here in this cell. A Molly claimed his innocence and put his hand on this cell wall. He said as long as he was innocent, his handprint would remain here. Well, you can come here and see it for yourself. The handprint is still on the wall.
So after shopping and touring the town, I'm getting really hungry. Let's go meet Chris for some food.
Hey, how was your day?
Amazing. So we just showed you some of the things you can do in Jim Thorpe.
And there's so much more. Whitewater rafting for the entire family, Mock Chunk Lake Park is a beautiful place to relax.
The number 9 mine takes you into a real coal mine to experience what it was like for miners digging out anthracite.
Or the Asa Packer Mansion, especially if you love history like I do.
Plus, we have lots of local breweries and distilleries that make top-notch beverages.
And here at the Inn at Jim Thorpe, they have an incredible menu.
Chris, did you know that this is one of the most haunted hotels in Pennsylvania?
You mean like the jail? That's for another day. Let's just order.
Okay. There are virtually hundreds of these neat nooks and crannies to explore all over the Pocono Mountains.
If you want more information, go to PoconoMountains.com. And as always, thanks for watching PTN.
We'll see you soon for another day adventure.
Now let's see. What do I like the beef stew.